Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Totally Radical Show with your host, Rene, and my special co-host, Pedro.
Hi guys.
Okay, so today we'll be talking about all the big news currently coming out of the New York Comic Con. Both Marvel and DC are making a ton of announcements, and we're right here to discuss our opinions about those announcements. First up, we have the Amazing X-Men and Marvel Universe panel, which was the first panel over on Marvel's side. They announced a lot of big stuff here, and so let's discuss each one.
Okay, so the first one is Guardians of the Galaxy and all new X-Men crossover. Okay, so apparently some alien dudes are gonna take Jean Grey or something, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are gonna intervene.
It certainly sounds like an interesting arc, and considering that both titles are written by Michael Bendis, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to make it very cohesive and freaking awesome.
I like his writing style. I'm reading both of those series currently. Let's see. It says here, Bendis' trial and judgment teasers were up next, and Lowe revealed the trial of Jean Grey, which sees all new X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy will cross over. Lowe confirmed all new X-Men will still be around following Battle of the Atom. The arc will be 6 parts and 3 issues, each in both All New X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy. NABX, the Phoenix, was a big part of it, and the universe learns there's a Jean Grey, they come back to Earth, they take Jean Grey by force back to the Chandelier, and she goes on trial, said Lowe. The Guardians of the Galaxy don't like people getting too close to Earth. They take it upon themselves to team up with the all-new X-Men to get Jean Grey. There are also some secret characters that Lowe isn't ready to reveal, but the all-new X-Men have connections in space. Stuart Immonen and Sarah how do you pronounce that? Peshley,
I think.
Peshley will drop how the crossover.
They also released a teaser image along with this, which shows the all-new X-Men in some form of special spacesuits. It also has Angel along with them, possibly hinting that once Battle of the Atom ends, he will come back to the normal team. The other thing that was also announced was that X-23 will eventually join the group at some point.
I have no idea how that will work.
well, I mean, she's a clone. They're time travelers. You know, weird people like to hang out with other weird people. Makes sense. They also had another announcement relating to that about who she's apparently going to date, but supposedly it's kind of spoilerish, so we're not going to go into that to preserve, non-spoilers and stuff. As for the average X-Men series by Brian Wood, he announced that the next arc will focus on Lady Deathstrike, an old X-Men villain returning, and will also feature a new member called Manette, who I actually only recently found about, but she seems pretty cool, kind of like a female Superman, and she's also Muslim, so more Muslim characters.
And she also has kind of Jean Grey powers.
I like Muslim characters, like Dust. Dust needs more. Put Dust in everything. Fuck Wolverine, Dust for life. Am I right? Am I right? You people know I'm right. High five. There we go. What else is there? There was some stuff about the continuing story of Wolverine and his own series. There was also stuff about the X-Men Legacy. Not much there. Savage Wolverine, after Jock, the current guy doing issue number 12 and 13 ends. The next one is going to be Phil Jimenez. He's going to do his own arc. As for the other two X-Men titles, Wolverine and the X-Men Uncanny X-Men, Wolverine and the X-Men, the only thing they tease is something to have to do with S.H.I.E.L.D. and Sentinels. That's all we know. And the Uncanny X-Men isn't really going to change that much, but it is going to get a new member, which supposedly will make a lot of people pissed off. So it'll probably be good if that's what they mean. Deadpool is going to continue. Apparently, some stuff's going to happen to him. They're going to have another inventory issue in issue number 20. And the current writers at the time, Declan Shelby and Jordan Belleri, will leave after issue number 19, apparently. What else? He will also have an annual, number 1, Thrilling Adventure Hour by Ben Acker and Ben Blacker with Evan Shanner. It'll answer the important question of what happened to Deadpool's white caption boxes, which, if you don't remember, is before All New Marvel Now. Deadpool had an inner kind of sophisticated voice in his head that would advise him through certain things, and it disappeared with Marvel Now. So we'll have to see exactly what happened to it. There's also going to be a crossover between the two X-Force series, Cable and the X-Force, Uncanny X-Force. There's going to be a standalone X-Men book called Long Shot Saves the Marvel Universe.
What?
Long Shot's this X-Men who's like, his power is pretty much that he's super lucky.
So another Domino?
Yeah, I guess, except not weirdly skin-colored and sniperish. And he's going to do something, apparently. Don't really care. What else is here? They talked a little bit about She-Hulk's new and upcoming series. I'm pretty excited about that. She-Hulk's a really good character. One of the best female characters right now, next to Captain Marvel. Hopefully, she'll eventually make it to the big screen. This one that I'm very excited about was that for Thunderbolts, it was announced that Ghost Rider is now going to show up in the series. Possibly
Yay, he's finally back from being nowhere.
Exactly. Ghost Rider has been long absent since Marvel Now started. No thanks to that movie that, while I haven't seen, Pedro doesn't tell me good things about it.
It was terrible. Do not watch it. Just don't.
I thought the first one was okay. Anyways, so he's going to join that, apparently, and there's going to be a story arc called No Mercy. I still haven't fully caught up with that series, so I don't know if that fully means anything relevant in the story. Oh, the other big announcement was a new series called All New X Factor, written by the former writer of the recently ended series, X Factor, Peter David. The series will essentially be a group of mutants in like a company type situation. He describes it as sort of a Google type company. And so far the only members we know are Gambit, whose series was also canceled recently, Quicksilver, and the other member of the Magneto children called, give me a second here, I forgot her name. Polaris. She'll also be there. She's green-haired. I like people with weird hair colors. So,
what's her power?
She's got like Magneto similar powers. So, yeah.
Wow, they're really running out of ideas for new original X-Men, aren't they?
No. There's a guy with gold balls.
Well,
there's gold balls, man. Gold balls in Uncanny. That's the most original thing I've seen in comics in years.
Dude, pretty much every single mutant or X-Men is pretty much another type of Jean Grey.
That's bullshit, man. What about Quicksilver? He can run really fast. No other superhero has that power.
And I think Flash is watching you right now.
Flash, I don't know what you're talking about. And along with these, they released a couple of images. Guardians of the Galaxy All New X-Men 1 looks pretty cool. Star-Lord has some crazy costume.
Angela's there.
Oh yeah, Angela. She's also there.
Yeah, even though she's was fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy in one of the previous issues. Don't know if she'll team up with them or something.
Broskies. The X Factor cover, it looks pretty cool. Apparently the industry that they're going to have is called Serval Industries. A Wolverine image where looks pretty standard. And Ghost Rider breaking through the Thunderbolts logo. So, pretty awesome.
And he's going through a portal or something.
What?
There's a portal over here.
No, that's like the little target on the Thunderbolts cover thing. What? Yeah. Pedro was just amazed by the fact that this computer is touchscreen, groundbreaking. So yeah, that's all for that panel. Moving on, let's go on to the DC side of things. DC is obviously going to have to do a lot of things to catch up. Earlier today, yesterday on Thursday, they announced a bunch of Batman-related stuff, announcing a lot of interesting stuff.
Apparently the creative team, the Flash creative team, is going to take over of the Detective Comics, starting issue number 27, I think it was.
Yes.
But before that...
28.
And before that, issue number 27, since most of you know, Batman's original debut was back in 1938, and Detective Comics number 27. So for that issue, it's going to be like a special 100-page issue with these little stories and everything. And it's pretty much going to be the conclusion of the current arc.
And Frank Miller is also going to have a 2-page spread of art there. We haven't seen him done anything in quite a while, so that's that. They also announced a weekly series, which we're still not sure if it's going to be New 52 or digital. which is going to be comprised of a team led by Scott Snyder, and it's going to have people like Ray Fox, other people who've worked with Snyder before. Pretty much anyone who's worked with Snyder on the normal Batman series is going to be there, and that's essentially going to focus on multiple stories in the Gotham world with like people like Gordon, and Batwoman and stuff like. It'll jump between members of the Bat family, and so. But the one interesting thing about that was that in the preview pictures they showed, we could see Owlman, Bruce Wayne's twin brother. Spoiler alert if you haven't read that.
It's not really that surprising.
And apparently he's going to come back, so that'll be interesting. He hasn't showed up since the City of Owls storyline ended. Okay, now to the panel that was on Friday about DC. Snyder talked about what's going on in Zero Year, how he wanted to do something completely different from Year One, and that's more or less how his story came up. They showed an image of an upcoming cover. Looks pretty cool. Batman's on top of like this ham bone
coming
thing.
out of the water or something.
It looks like the ground. I don't know. He talks about how Riddler's going to be very important in it, and there's going to be another villain that he still hasn't revealed yet. He also mentioned how other Batman titles are going to have Zero-Year tie-ins, which he wasn't excited about, but they sold him on it. Some of them sound interesting, especially the Catwoman one.
More money, I guess.
But the real interesting thing is that the Catwoman Zero-Year issue is not going to be written by F.A.N.S.E.L.L. Thank the Lord. It's going to be written by John Layman, who writes the Detective Comics series. So, thank God.
Fuck, Jesus Christ, finally. Seriously, DC, just fire her already.
And Scott Lobdell, but we'll get to that one in a couple of minutes. He talked about how The Wake is essentially going to end the first part of the storyline with issue number 5. That's so far been pretty good. He talked about the return of American Vampire, which for fans of that series, that's pretty good. What else is here? Kyle Higgins also talked about his Nightwing series, the Zero-Year issue, how it's going to be about basically a young Dick Grayson going on his little own adventure in the city.
So are we going to see another little boy running around in really tight panties all over Gotham?
Not panties, they're fucking tights. And Batman made them appropriate. He defended him. There's nothing wrong with that. Stop trying to make it weird. It's people like you that ruin these comics for me. What else is here? Okay, so this was an interesting one. Okay, so a fan asked, where exactly is Stephanie Brown? As some of you may know, Stephanie Brown was Batgirl before New 52 started, and she's pretty much been absent ever since New 52 began. While they stated that they would have to stay for another Batman panel to get the answer. We already had that answer, but we'll get to that in a couple of minutes as well. And they talked about how writing Joker is an interesting character.
Oh man, just go back to normal Joker.
Oh, right, Joker's daughter. Nobody cares.
And the Senti people, and the Senti.
And apparently in 2014, Snyder's going to do a really, really crazy story since 2014's Batman's 75th anniversary.
Oh boy.
Hey man, it'll be good.
Like, haven't been like 3 other crazy stories.
Hey, if they were good, doesn't matter. And that's about it. Okay, so that was the DC panel. That's that. Okay, so now on to another panel by Marvel. This one specifically focused around the Avengers. It's had a lot of stuff announced in it. Okay, so the first big thing that was announced was that New Avengers is going to eventually tie into Inhumanity. Mighty Avengers is going to get crazier. Secret Avengers is going to continue on its normal arc.
Wasn't that canceled?
No, it's still there. I mean, nobody cares, but it's still there. Captain America's doing some stuff. They talked about how Avengers number 24, which will kick off all new Marvel now, is going to be called Avengers number 24. Point now / Avengers number 1.
Good job, Marvel. Good job.
Not confusing at all. Nobody